I love The Legend of Zelda. I love the series. Ocarina of Time is my favourite game of all time. I've played Wind Waker, I've played the Game Boy games, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages. I've of course played Breath of the Wild. But one game I hadn't played is Skyward Sword, as well as Twilight Princess, which I'm hoping they'll remaster that. Anyway, I'll come on to like some of the gripes and sort of issues that I had with it. You know, the motion controls being sort of the biggest thing that kind of bugged me about this. But this game really won me over. Like, I was playing this, and for the first, I would say, you could say the first act of the game, like the first sort of 3 dungeons and stuff, I really wasn't vibing with it. I was playing it through, but I wasn't enjoying it massively. It wasn't until you were on the pirate ship in the desert, and it was the boss battle that you had with, I can't remember its name, but it was basically like a kraken. And Link was fighting it on the ship that was sinking. And that's quite that's quite common just in like pop culture in general. It's not completely unique, that idea. But for a Zelda game, I found it to be quite refreshing and stuff. Like, I really enjoyed that boss battle. And it was only after that boss battle that I was like, well, I'm really into this game. Like, I really enjoyed it. I just sort of had a moment where I was like, yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. When it comes to the combat, I never really got used to swinging my sword with the right analog. And I will come on to that sort of in a bit. Like, I almost found myself trying to press a button to slash my sword. Like, it was, especially in the beginning anyway, it was quite frustrating. But the weapons and the items that you acquire in the game, I think were very refreshing from what I had known and played as in previous Zelda games before. You know, don't get me wrong, you know, we had the bow and arrow, you had the bombs, you had the slingshot, but you had like the gust bellows, which I thought was kind of cool, like the freaking leaf blower thing, which I thought was actually really good and used really well in certain sections. Even what is essentially the hook shot, the claw shot, I think was used in like more creative ways, or at least more different ways than I've seen in the past. Obviously the whip, which I thought was really good as well. And the beetle, which is really cool because it's almost like a scout, so you can actually scout out the room that you're in and trying to find a way to do it. And I think just coming onto it in general, what really won me over in this game were the puzzles and the dungeons specifically. I thought these dungeons, some of them, and the puzzles that were in it and the way it utilised the motion controls and the sword and stuff like that, I just thought they were really good, like, and really creative, and I have to say I was very impressed overall, and it was that again just kind of won me over. You know, even the keys, like the boss room keys, are a puzzle, and you have to move it around into the correct sort of shape so you can open the door and stuff like that. And again, I was impressed. The game also had like challenging enemies and bosses. I think to an extent you tend to find that for Zelda games, general enemies aren't that difficult to get through. And I suppose the same is said for this game, but I think they are a bit more challenging. And I think the motion controls and the combat and the way it uses it, like, helps make it more challenging and better. Like some of the Stalfosses, for example, I'm guessing that's what they were called. Like the Stalfoss is a skeleton swordsman. Fighting those guys who some of them have like multiple arms and stuff, and you can only attack them. There's only one gap, left, right, up or down, in which you can actually hit them. Otherwise, they block. And again, I think doing that was really clever. Like, so it was almost like each battle, for like in some sections anyway, was a puzzle in itself. So again, really enjoyed that side of things, even if I'm not over enamoured with the motion controls, as I mentioned before. I loved when you came back to Farron Woods and it was flooded. I really enjoyed seeing that, because one thing I love about games is seeing areas that you revisit later looking different for one reason or another. That's probably a large part of why I really like Ocarina of Time, among many other things, is you go back to certain locations and they're like destroyed or like a shadow of what they once were and stuff, and I like that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, in this particular example, it was kind of lame, like why it was flooded. Like I thought it was flooded because of Girahim, who I'll come on to in a little bit, and like his forces and that. But no, it was just the water dragon being sort of over the top and flooding it to get rid of enemies that had come in. Okay, but wouldn't drain the water until I found all of the notes for the song. That seems kind of a bit unnecessary. I mean, this is people's homes, the woods, you know. So hey ho. I thought that was kind of odd. Just on Girahim, actually, I didn't write any notes down. For some reason, I forgot about him. As much as I enjoyed the actual battles with him, and again, they were challenging as well, I just didn't like him as a villain. It wasn't until the end that I properly sort of believed him. And I don't know if it's because he was sort of like quirky and eccentric and stuff like that, but I never felt like he was something to massively worry about, or like it was very hard to take him seriously. If they were going for serious, it was very hard to take him seriously because he was so sort of over dramatic and stuff. So yeah, wasn't a massive fan of him. Demise, the final boss, I loved that. I found it difficult. I had to work out exactly when to take my shots at him and stuff. Really liked Demise. And again, just learning about sort of how Demise is linked with sort of Ganon, like trying to understand it better. I think that was really cool to learn about. I thought Link and Zelda's relationship in this one in particular was really, like, this is probably as close as them being like an actual like couple, or like being in love and stuff, as you would probably ever see. Maybe like, oh, you know, Breath of the Wild, and maybe getting there, Tears of the Kingdom, maybe not. But yeah, in this you can see the affection that they have for each other. And don't get me wrong, like Link and Zelda aren't always, or it isn't alluded to that they're always romantically involved. Like sometimes they're just working together, sometimes they are children. But in this one, it really felt like they had like a genuine connection, and it felt romantic. It didn't feel like it was just friendship. Which I think was really cute. It was really cool. But yeah, it was lovely, and I really enjoyed their dynamic. Also, I have no idea how I didn't pick up on Sheik being the old lady. As soon as you learn about the time traveling and the gate and stuff, it was very easy. Like there's a very distinct sort of long hair that they both have on their right side. Don't know how I didn't pick up on that, but that was a nice little plot twist that made me go. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know if I don't want to let this drag on. The game won me over, and it's just another reason why I need to make sure that I do give games more time, because I don't know if it's just because of the lack of time that I have, but if a game does not hit me like in the first hour, a lot of the time I struggle to go back to it and stuff. So I'm really glad that I persevered with this, because the game really got good sort of midway through. Is it in my like top 3 Zelda games? No, it's not. It's not really there. But it was a very good game to play, and I can see where a lot of the Breath of the Wild aspects, because I played Breath of the Wild before I played Skyward Sword. I could see a lot of the stuff from like mechanics and stuff. I can see that in Breath of the Wild now, so yeah. But yeah, these are just my thoughts on Skyward Sword. What's your favourite Zelda game if you've listened to this? Is Skyward Sword your favourite? Tell me why. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button for me, guys, because it really, really does help me out. And if you are new here, do feel free to check out some of the other videos I've got going on. I do some of these random My Thought videos on other games, so check them out. Check out my theory videos, which is the bread and butter of this channel now. The Let's Plays, they are stopping, pretty much. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.